What's dangerous is when the universe pick you and you put on the magic glasses. There's rules that go with them. You can never take them off. You never see things that they're supposed to be. You see things as they are. You can never force nobody else to wear them.
Things I think while I lie awake and contemplate tonight are wearing me out. Well, maybe tomorrow the world will wake and get it right, but I have my doubts, yeah. During the day, well, I design machines of war that scream through the sky. 'Cause I, for one, I like to go to bed free at night under these stars and stripes. And I have my doubt that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. Yes, I have my doubts, but they'll wind you up and pull the cord until you're spun right out. And I don't understand. Roll the dice and raise the price to feed the machine's mouth. Call it the progress of man. And I have my doubt that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts. And I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. I have my doubts, so I'll drink my stuff and raise some hell and shoot my guns to the end of my time. You can have the booze and go to hell and take the guns, but I know they won't be mine. We're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back up. Yes, I have my doubts. So we're all messed up and out of touch. Let's text someone who's in the other room. So don't wonder why we don't say hi or know anyone. I might as well move to the moon. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. Well, the things I think while I lie awake and contemplate at night are wearing me out.
Howdy, howdy. Just give me 1 second. Let me mute my mic for a second. All right. I had to blow my nose, and I figured you didn't want to hear that. So, my goodness. I know the screen behind me forever says setting up. I have no clue. I've went in and out a few times trying to see if just coming back in would kind of reset it, fix it. I have no idea. However, um, we do absolutely have screen share functions. So that is a thing. However, I do notice that um, I am lagging later on in the stream. I'm sorry. If I leave my screen up top, I start to even lag on this computer here. So when I try to when I'm putting the screen out, it shows me frozen quite a bit. Now I think that the issue that causes that is the same issue that causes Steve issues, with a buildup in his cache and then him having to go out and come back. I have a feeling it's the same animal that's causing both issues. So how I'm going to do it is when I talk to you about an article, I'll pull it up, I'll show it, and before I go on to the next article, I'll make sure that I stop screen sharing and re-screen share, and that way, hopefully, that will be what fixes it. So, hey, it's actually technically the Workrooms software that I'm using is technically still in beta. So, um, but it works well. And if, well, for the most part, and if we run into too many issues in the future, there's like a ton of different apps like this kind of stuff um, for VR. So there's many. In fact, they seem to be like the co-working kind of apps, which is what this is. Um, Seems to be a really popular thing right now with VR, and I mean, it's kind of common sense. I mean, it is great for that. So let me have a sip of coffee. I'm kind of running around a little crazy here. Um, where is my mouser? I need my mouse, yo. Hang on. Gotta figure out where it went. Ah, I actually kept my screens. Wow. I don't know what led to me being able to do that, but ah, well, I was trying to just close that. Um, okay. Normally, so just kind of so you guys have an idea of what's going on here. Is that, yeah, latency, Kevin, exactly. Normally, when I do this, my screens change to where they're like all wide, three wide. And in reality, you've seen it. I've got them in like a pyramid. And so technically, normally when I do this, I can, when I'm on my desktop, I can go straight from the left all the way to the right side, across both monitors, or from either bottom monitor, from halfway to the left on the right one, halfway to the right on the right one, or left one. Um, you can go straight up to the, above monitor. Normally that doesn't work like this, but I mean, I've got the pyramid thing, but I can't go straight from left to right. I have to go up to the top and then over down, and I should be over here. Yep. That's weird. And normally does not do it that way, so that's what kind of had me tripped up. So anyway, sorry, kind of a rough start there, but then again, when is it not? Uh, so you might be asking yourself, or not, why the hell did I title the show what I titled it? Well, let me tell you, son. Let me have a sip of coffee. We'll talk about it. All right. So there isn't many. I'm gonna kick back. There isn't many YouTube channels that I enjoy watching. Very few, to be honest. Um, but there are some that I watch. There are some prepping channels that I watch. One of the ones that I tend to like more often than not is Prepper Nation. And I'm pretty sure the dude's absolutely no fan of mine. And whatever. Uh, man, I'm not a soy boy. That's just all there is to it. I'm not a soy boy. I was raised with a hell of a cut cloth, let me tell you. And I don't have a lot of time for nonsense. I don't have a lot of time for beating around the bush, lollygagging, being even anywhere near the edge of beta male. And I'm just saying, yo, especially the nonsense that I heard today. And normally, I got nothing to say. Normally, he's pretty well on target. You know, he normally doesn't have a chip on his shoulder. You know, it's seems to be a pretty solid channel. Seems to be a pretty solid guy. But his little rant today, I really only got one issue with it. He had a rant today, and what the rant was, he apparently spoke about Christmas, okay, and had a lot of people commenting to him the truth about Christmas. The truth about Christmas. Now, you know, he says that, you know, he chooses to celebrate Christmas and all that. And hey, more power to you, man. Completely. More power to you. Where my issue lies is when he associated people telling him biblical truth, scriptural truth with hate. Go watch his rant video this morning, and he associates people talking to him about scriptural truth, actual facts about the Bible, and he's more or less calling it hate speech. We've got a real big damn problem with this going on right now, and we better get a hold of it. I'm telling you, we better get a hold of it. Right now, people across the pond are getting thrown in jail for being critical of Israel, for supporting Palestine. People are being thrown in jail to the support of many. We need to slow the fuck down. Pardon the language, don't pardon the language, I don't care. We need to slow down. Man, you've got people calling for the craziest bullshit. Pinball Preparedness calling for crazy bullshit this morning. What is wrong with people? Or is it too much soy? I think it must be too much soy. It is a dark day when truth is considered hate speech. Now, again, John, if you want to celebrate Christmas and Easter and all that stuff, fine. But you need to understand that it is pagan holidays. Period. End of freaking discussion. The tree that you're putting up. Literally. You are slapping God in the face every time you down that tree. Now, if you want to choose to do that, that's fine, brother. That is fine. But people telling you the truth about it is not hate. And I'll be damned if I listen to that nonsense and not speak up myself. John, we are commanded to blow our trumpet. If we don't blow our trumpet, that comes back on us. And if it offends you when we blow our trumpet, fuck you. I could care less. Now, on your behalf, I also want to say that we are commanded to blow our trumpet and then leave you be. Once you know, then it's on you to make a decision, which you've done. You've already done, and that's cool, and I'm cool with that. Everything's cool. My issue is with you saying that people talking scriptural truth, biblical truth, is hate. I will take that bullshit head on. It's not anybody's fault that you want to remain misinformed and whatever. That's fine. But causing other people to stumble because your selfish desire to keep with your tradition, causing people to stumble with the Father. Because the last time I read the damn book, he comes first. And the last time I read the damn book, we aren't supposed to be lovers of things of the earth, like you went on and on and on and on about how you like to see this and you like to see that and you like to see. What the hell do you think the Bible was warning you about when they said not to be a lover of the things of this earth? To put him first, so that you wouldn't have this mindset of, oh, we're just going to shove a pineapple up God's ass by putting a tree up over there in the corner. Abrasive, is it? Good. Good. I'm sick to death of hearing these content creators spew bullshit nonstop. Not a damn one of them will take a second to actually look into something. They pick a side. They start with picking a side. Mistake number one. And then they lead into the entire thing with emotion. They lead into the entire thing with agenda. When I go over the news stories, I'm not looking for something to steer anything. I'm looking for, if you will, turning point moments of the day. That's what I look for. I don't look for things that will necessarily have you cowering in fear or this or that or the other thing, because I don't run this show based on emotion, which is why one of the biggest reasons why we don't grow. And because I'm an asshole. And that is what it is. I'm going to tell you the truth. That's the one thing you can damn well bet when you come here, is that you're going to hear the truth. I'm not going to present it well. I'm not going to present it professionally. But point out the other channels here on ScrewTube that are actually no agenda, just information. And yeah, I throw out my opinion. Why not? Fuck. At least I'm not approaching the show or basing my opinions based on how I can personally gain out of it. Because if I did that, boy, I'm screwing the pooch. I don't get it. So many people now are so ready and willing to piss away so much so they can support tradition over logic, over righteousness. And I mean, it's not like we didn't know these times are coming. I think that's the part that frustrates me the most, right? I mean, we're supposed to remain watchful. We were warned that comes like a thief in the night. We're not supposed to just la-di-da-da-da, everything's okay. I don't know. I don't know. But I know one thing. There's going to be a real big damn problem if those of us who consider ourselves Hebrew or anything of the like is no longer allowed to love our Father in the way that He had commanded us to. There's going to be a real big damn problem. And I just want to make a real clear message. The people that are being largely supported in the conflict in the Middle East, they will come after the Christians. And if you think I'm talking about the Palestinians, you are nuts. The Palestinians believe in our Savior. They believe in the Messiah. Because they speak a different language, it's a different name. People that are largely being supported in that conflict do not believe in your Messiah. Where is it that conversation is? Oh, it's on Facebook. Been involved in a conversation, or if you want to call it that, discussion, whatever, on Ashbook. And it was a friend's, something that a friend posted, and it was in the comments of it. And there's a absolutist pro-Israel person that is commenting. Now, knowing that the guy that made the original post and all that, he's not, he's somebody that thinks a little more than the average people. And so he's not all good with what's going on. And so this pro-Israel guy flat out saying that the only ones that have any right to anything on this entire planet are the Jews. I could show you the conversation. That is exactly the Zionist Jew mindset. And they will lop off your head unless you deny your Messiah. Look into it. Look into it. That's the damnedest thing. We're sitting there giving them all kinds of money and equipment and weapons and intelligence and Lord knows what all else to wipe out other tribes of people so they can eventually come for us. And when I say us, well, I'll be a lot quicker than the Christians. I guarantee that. But he's going to come after the Christians too. He's going to come after the Christians too. They got to get us out of the way though, because we'll spoil their little party. Anywho, it's just insane. Just insane. I'm sorry, I go off on tangents like that, but I mean, it just... it's just messed up. Let me have a sip of coffee. I know a lot of people don't necessarily believe in what I'm saying about the they plan to eliminate us. I will tell you this. Everything that you have heard everything that you have heard that um, the Muslims are supposedly wanting to do, by putting in a bunch of laws and eliminating us, and then the thing about how they got it within their culture, their rules, their laws, their edicts, that they can lie to you, to this and that and the other thing, and how they'll do this and this, and you do know that that's projection, right? They are literally the ones doing it. Literally doing it right now and telling you to keep an eye on the Muslims and make sure they don't do it. Well, you know what? There ain't all kinds of people all over getting thrown in jail for being critical of the Muslims, is there? Hmm. Imagine that. Imagine that happening right now across the pond. And it's only going to get worse. What they will do is they will get people spun up. They will get people fired up. And then what they will do is turn around and use that as an excuse to clamp down. Oh, well, on the religion thing. Oh, well, this is why we need one religion. On all the income, um, I don't know, disparage or whatever, inequivalency, however you want to put it. I'm talking globally, right? That's why there needs to be one currency and one, because that way we all got a fair chance at the market and blah, 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 right? That's how they're going to sell all this stuff. And folks, they're going to succeed. I mean, it literally tells us in the good book, they're going to succeed. And that is what we are seeing happen right now. And that is why I'm out here blowing my trumpet and yelling at the top of my lungs, don't fall for their bullshit. Because what they will do is they will get you spun up and in a frame of mind that they'll get you to walk into any damn trap they set. And they do it time and time and time and time again. How many new social media websites have been started? And I can't think of the names of them off the top of my head. One of them started with a P. And I know there's like Truth Social and stuff, but the one with the P, the one, I think it was P, but a bunch of people got arrested, right? Parlor. A bunch of people got arrested that used Parlor because of their private conversations. Listen, I shouldn't have to tell you this because Edward Snowden told you this a long damn time ago. I should not have to keep repeating it myself. Number one, everything we do online, they track, trace, and database. Every single damn thing. Two, any company, any whatever website, whatever that tries telling you that they've got an encryption that the government can't break, are full of shit. And in many cases, those are government programs you sign up to, and when you run their program to supposedly secure your phone or whatever, you just gave them the door right on in. Yesterday, by the way, I didn't even mention that. I had today was a day of satisfaction like you wouldn't believe. Number one, I've got the rest of our security system pretty much wrapped up. There's only one more thing, and that's going to cost about $500 to do. And I really don't see that we'll get the money to be able to do it. It is a pretty needed upgrade, but I can get by. I don't want to go into it. OPSEC. As is, I can get by. But it really would be nice if I didn't have to go out of my way in order to ensure the system was up. I'll just word it that way. And it's not that big of a deal. We're talking a very, very short amount of time from when the lights go out, from when it's all back up and everything's all good. There will be a slight interruption, if you will. But and again, it's about $500 to fix that because of the way I got my system set up. It's pretty elaborate. Flamethrowing doorbell system. I like that idea. I like the way you think. I like the way you think. That is a good idea. That is an awesome idea. Damn, man, you're gonna get me in trouble. So anyway, be out there with some copper tubing tomorrow. So, where was I? I forgot even where I was at. Oh yeah, so I got the rest of the security system sewn up today. There is not a square inch. Not a square inch. It's awesome. So I got that done today. And then we had leaves like you wouldn't believe in the yard. So I mulched them up with the mower, which took some doing because there's a hell of a lot of leaves. I had to like attack them first. I had to hold the mower up, the front of the mower. I had to hold it up and attack the leaves, the big ass piles of leaves, so I can get them chopped down enough that I could get because it's just a push mower. So I could get the mower to actually go over top of it and chop everything up real fine, dusty to get all in my nose. And anyway, so I got that all done today. The yard looks immensely better. And security system wrapped up, and I got supper done. And there's a couple other little jobs I got done along the way too. A really productive day. So, and I'm wholly satisfied with the results that I had today. So on all the projects. So good. So, but anyway, a lot of craziness happening around the world. I'm sure you probably already are aware of that. I reckon I can take you. Yeah, I don't have it. I don't know what the hell that is with setting up. I've never had it just sit there and sit on that. So I don't know. Beats me, but my screen is share, so that works for me. Hey, it's there. All right. Oh, and what I think I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna leave that up. Well, no, I'll go ahead and I'm gonna say leave it up. We'll see. I don't know what all is causing the issue with all the lagginess and all of that. So, but like I'll read this article and then I'll pop that off so that everything will reset. That might fix it. So anyway, there has been one heck of an escalation in this conflict. Let me see if I can skinny that up a little bit there. Says with RPO Ashmel, I'm sure I'm saying this stuff wrong, and ATGM Cornet EM thermobaric missiles, Hezbollah forces, multiple IDF targets hit. Sinjin, and I can't remember the letters there off the top of my head to know what they are to say them, but one of their intelligence networks collapsed. Because they've got some really, really crazy surveillance equipment. And I guess they were able to knock at least a part of it offline. It says here Hezbollah escalated its attacks against Israeli targets qualitatively and quantitatively, causing great concern in the U.S. From the attacks, there are several dead and wounded in the ranks of the IDF. Within 48 hours, Hezbollah forces launched multiple attacks against Israeli targets in the areas of Al-Malakaya, Barkat Risha, Duviv, Yiftah, Kadesh, and Ramat Naftali. And I'm sure I probably got them all wrong. According to information and video, Hezbollah forces hit IDF positions and forces with Russian-made anti-tank systems The Cornet E's, Conquerors, and the Metis M1s with Iranian ATGMs, Delavia, and Tupan. Let's see, apparently it's a reverse engineered tow missile. And Chinese 107 millimeter Type 63 to Fajr 122 millimeter 9M22U, a Ration 333 millimeter. Holy hell, that's big. Flagat, two high explosive rockets, whatever the hell. I'm sure I screwed absolutely every bit of it up, but I should have just stuck with like the numbers. I think I can. I think I know numbers. There are fears that Hezbollah has also acquired the EM version of the Cornet, which doubles the range to 8 to 10 kilometers, as a video shows an IPN 79M3 thermal targeting system. Additionally, in another video, Hezbollah forces have been equipped with 9K32M Strela 2M man pads, and those aren't like feminine hygiene kind of pads. RPO Ishmael portable thermobaric missiles and Chinese W-85 machine guns. Now, the thermobaric weapons, they make bad days. They make really, really, really bad days. Not only is it like one hell of a fireball, but then it absolutely sucks all of the oxygen out of the air. Could you imagine? I mean, all you have to do is be within the blast range of that, and it will suck. It will literally, I mean, it'll kill you. It's not, if you're in that blast area, and I don't mean the blast from just like the concussion killing you. I'm talking about if you are in range of the, what would you call it? The flash, because there'll be a flash. If you're in the range of that flash, you're screwed, because it's going to suck every bit of the oxygen out of the air, and literally to the point to where it will collapse your lungs. So that's not, oof, that's going to get ugly. Once they start breaking those out and hitting the IDF with thermobaric weapons, the IDF is going to make a very serious escalation at that point. Because it's one thing to kill people, but when you go killing people with thermobaric weapons, that's done with love. And you're going to get a lot of loving back. So, oof. Yeah. So this situation is very, very far from resolved. I can tell you that now. Look, look, we're how long into this? And you've got how many different actors pumping in weapons to Hezbollah, Hamas? I mean, it's kind of crazy. So, oof, it's going to get ugly quick. Elend, that was the second word. What particularly worries Americans and Israelis is not only the qualitative and quantitative upgrading of Hezbollah's attacks, but also the fact that it is systematically destroying electronic warfare, interception, and SIGINT surveillance systems along the border with Lebanon in an effort to shut down the eyes of the IDF. The Israelis are now forced to make various patents with portable cameras. Hamas had done something similar before the invasion of Israel. So, really kind of screwing with their stuff here. This is saying here, there has been an escalation in the attacks, especially on the north there. And I mean, put it simply, it's getting real. And I'll go ahead and stop sharing for the moment. It still says setting up, I see. It's kind of, it's getting really real, and it won't take long. Doing all right there, Steve. I'm gonna, in between articles, in and out of articles, I'm gonna shut that screen off. I know it says setting up tonight. I don't know what the deal is with that, but so I'm gonna like interrupt the screen shares between articles and stuff because I am lagging too. I don't know if I'm still. Oh, wow. Hang on. Um, it's weird. Okay, for some reason it's not showing. Aha, there we go. Sorry, folks. I don't know. I don't know why it's doing all this craziness. I guess they're having some kind of an issue tonight. So, and however, yeah, I'm not laggy at all. So, what's up, Steve? I heard myself through you for just a second. I don't know if he's having issues or. All right. I see. I see you sticking your hand up. So I take it you can hear me. Well, speak, Ubu, speak. He's probably thinking, I would if I could. Damn it. Yeah, I don't know what's up with it, Steve. Like I said, I have lagginess that I pick up after a while, and I noticed it from like I watched last night's a little bit of last night's stream, and it seems like after I get into the show a little bit, I'm like all lagged out and everything, and that's right here on my own computer. So I guarantee that whatever it is that's causing that for me is what's causing your issues too, and it's just I'm just going to be real honest about it. It's just piss poor coding. So hopefully they get it fixed. Um, you can speak anytime you want. I know you're probably just telling me you hear me, but huh? Well, what up? What up? What up? You might be lagging now because if you just heard that, uh, that you might just be letting me know you heard me speak. You're definitely lagging. Probably about 10 seconds. Otherwise, if you are trying to speak, just anytime, speak up. I mean, like if you can. All right. Let me try to get my screen shared again. Yay! I have to go play the dance over here again. Let's see. I'm not laggy. I think there's gonna be something. I think I hit the nail on the head with that. 1 second. Okay. Oh, I didn't even. Normally, it makes a tone when he pops out. I heard
Hey,
you. I hear you.
okay. I don't know what I refreshed but now I'm getting a little circle around my name, my D name, modulation when I talk. I wasn't before, so I don't know what. Anyway, I'm sorry I'm late.
You're fine,
I
man.
I ate about an hour and a half ago, and then
You
I
sat
woke
down
up.
in the chair and you rested your eyes, didn't you?
I laid down and said, "Oh, just a few minutes here. I'll watch TV." And yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Why do we always lie to ourselves like that?
I felt pretty good when I laid down. So yeah, I didn't really feel sleepy, but hey, old guy.
I hear you. I mean, I know I haven't. I probably won't make it to your age, to be quite honest. But I'm definitely feeling it, especially today, man. Holy hell! I am actually kind of dreading laying down. Oh, I'm gonna hurt. I am gonna hurt something fierce when I lay down. So I mulched all the leaves today. I worked on the security system, and I've been pretty hard at it ever since morning. So let's see. Let me do this so I can get the screen share back off. It says Douglas McGregor. He is who is that again? You know who it is. He was
General
is that what he was?
General
Uh,
Douglas MacArthur. Is that what I wouldn't? I just
McGregor.
heard. Oh,
McGregor.
McGregor.
Colonel, U.S. Colonel. Here it is. Okay, here it is. Former Trump advisor and retired. It's the very damn first
Oh,
sentence.
yeah.
Former Trump advisor and retired U.S. Colonel Douglas McGregor says he has learned from reliable sources that the U.S. has deployed troops to Gaza, including casualties, in an allegation that puts fire in its already hot region, the Middle East. As you know, we also had losses in Ukraine. We lost people there, and they didn't even tell us anything about it. It was suppressed and kept secret, and the media helped the government a lot in that, McGregor said in a recent interview with Tucker Carlson. He later repeated the same to Andrew Napolitano. Former Fox News anchor Napolitano stressed for his part that the U.S. public has a right to know when the President of the United States deploys troops on foreign soil, and some of them come back with body bags. We remind you that recently an MH-60 Black Hawk helicopter crashed under unclear circumstances off Cyprus with 5 Special Forces men from the elite 160th Special Operations Air Regiment, the Night Stalkers. I mean, it's a mess. It really is what's going on, and like he said, I firmly believe as well that well, let me switch. Oh, it actually did. It did go back over right this time. Sweet. Um, I imagine we probably have lost troops over there, in Ukraine, and it hasn't been said because there's a lot of games going on, and that's why I'm not 100% sure that we all aren't getting the wool pulled over our eyes with this stuff. Some of it just doesn't make really a whole lot of sense. Well, a lot of it doesn't. Okay, looks like I got 2 articles left. I couldn't remember. I gotta have a sip of coffee. I do know that. Hmm.
Yeah, we're not in Laos either.
Nah? What do you mean?
Vietnam.
Oh. Hmm. Oh, hell. Not in Kansas. Oh, well, you are in Kansas. What's up,
I may
Toto?
be. Dorothy. Yeah, that's right. We aren't in Kansas anymore.
There is a little bit of a lag, not super bad, but probably about 5 seconds, I'm guessing.
How can you tell?
Because of when it is that you start to reply to me.
Oh.
Now it's clearing up though. I mean, there's probably not much lag at all now.
Oh, I'm catching up. It speeds up as I talk. Well, that's good. It just knows I'm running faster, catching up with you. Okay. Were you done?
No, I've still got a couple of more of these.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm just stopping the screen share in between articles to refresh the cache, both for you and for me. So, like, I'm looking now because I went and watched the live stream from last night, and I've done it before where I've watched the live stream, and as the show progresses, my avatar just sits here and freezes. You can still hear my voice just fine, but my avatar is frozen.
So
And
it's loading up. It's the
it's
memory or
doing the
something's
same
low.
thing for me. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay. That's what I couldn't. And well, I, I don't know why. That's the thing that
Well,
bothers me.
well, it's just something. It's bad coding. It's not anything on your end. It's
Oh,
not anything
well,
on my end.
no, that I understand, Mike. Bad
Yeah,
code, yeah, hang
it's
all the programmers, and, because I've done programming and I know, you know, I know what it takes, especially when you start
yeah,
out on a 286 12 megahertz machine. Yeah, your coding better be tight, small, and have it work. Or I had to have a stopwatch watch it every time I would write new lines of code, and I would actually time it and see if it slowed it down at all.
yep,
So,
yep.
but they don't care anymore. They're
Well,
all
no, they
geniuses.
do. Nah, it's this stuff is so complex. I mean,
Oh
they'll
yeah,
get it.
yeah.
They'll get
It
it.
just
It's
kind of
just
yeah.
it something's loading up, and it could it could be the fact that I may not be using this software in the way that it was necessarily intended. I might be sharing my screen longer than what the normal person using this app would be doing. So but it's still a beta. I mean, literally it's called, their beta app. So I mean, it is what it is. But
Well, is there someone you let know about whatever problems you have on this beta test?
yeah, so there's a dude named Nathan that runs I forget what it's called, 24/7 workrooms or something. And
Okay.
it was the first place that I had went into, and
I thought
it's just somebody that runs seems to be a pretty
yeah,
popular room. And a lot of times what people do is they just go
yeah.
in there, and it's just a room, except they're at the beach, but it's just set up like this. And a lot of times people would just go in there and work on their stuff, do their stuff, and just hang out with the other people. And it's kind of really cool. Well, anyway, um, there are people that actually work for Meta that work on the workrooms software that come in there from time to time and chat with people, chat with everybody. So yeah, there's actually somebody straight from Meta that individually goes around and talks to people that are using the software so they can fine tune it and figure out what people are having issues with. So I will most certainly pass this along, what's happening and what
Right.
I know about web coding and stuff. I will certainly pass that information along to them. Hopefully, maybe I can hit at something they haven't seen or noticed, or, if I can help them
Well,
out, I will. But,
so the secret saying all this that talks to everyone. His name's Nathan.
well, he just runs a workroom.
Oh,
Nathan,
okay.
he doesn't work for Meta or anything like that. He just runs a room like this, where people just come in and hang out and work and learn about this program or other programs in VR. And so that's what one Nathan as one of those. Well, he's kind of like Paul. You know how Paul's teaching people how to use VR and stuff like that. That's essentially what Nathan does.
Okay.
Yep. So, but yeah, there are people that are definitely directly with Meta that have talked to us. I've talked to them once when I was there. Okay, disclosure, RAF provides air surveillance support to Israel from Cyprus. Yeah, I do have it up. Let me see if I didn't switch over the screen over here. Hang on. Before again, my folks. The RAF is providing aerial surveillance support to Israel in its ongoing operation against Hamas Islamists in Gaza. Answering questions in the House of Commons, Secretary of State for the Armed Forces James Heappey said aircraft had been deployed to the region to support Israel and address wider UK security concerns. A total of 12 aircraft have been deployed to the eastern Mediterranean. These flights provided surveillance support to Israel, including interdiction of weapons transfers to terrorist groups and wider regional security. They have also delivered humanitarian aid to Egypt, he said. I'm not sure if I'm getting that name even remotely right. So they're over there doing those operations. And there is one more thing that I do want to talk about that was on War News. An article that they had on there, and what the article is about is Russia hitting depleted uranium munition sites in Ukraine and causing radioactive particles to spread not just all throughout Ukraine, but they've been detected in Europe and stuff like that. What I want to point out is that this didn't just happen. I don't want folks to think that it was an attack that Russia just made. This was an attack, I don't know if they said April or spring or what it was, but it was months ago when this happened. All the report is saying essentially is that they have detected radioactive, substances in the air for considerable distances. Now, is it an alarming, a concerning amount? No. We're talking traces. Um, I really, I have a feeling, that the heat's going to get turned up. And I don't know if it's going to happen involving Ukraine or if it's going to happen involving Israel. I'm thinking more likely Ukraine right now at this particular moment because they kind of need something. They need something. I mean, it's a lost cause at this point, to be honest. So now earlier I mentioned something of this, and I'll just get this out of the way real quick. I mentioned something earlier about this. Ukraine arrests Zelensky critic for treason. So Kiev court has ordered the arrest of Ukrainian journalist and independent MP Alexander Dubensky, accused by Ukraine's successor to the KGB, the SBU, of treason and working for Russia. He was remanded for 2 months of pretrial detention on Tuesday, according to post on Telegram, published on the politician's personal channel. Now, you would not believe how many critics and opponents of Zelensky has been imprisoned or killed or something. It is absolutely mind-blowing the amount of people that he suppresses. And I mean, it's no big secret that as far as corrupt governments go, you don't get much more corrupt than Ukraine. It's supposedly real bad. So, no. Anyway, let me have a couple sips of coffee. We are at headlines. It is just after 9. So let me have a couple sips of coffee, run through these headlines, and I am anxious for that pillow, and at the same time, I'm scared to death of laying down in that bed, because damn, is that going to hurt. That's when I hurt the worst, is when I lay down, right when I lay down, because oh, holy cow. Anyway, coffee. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, well, I suppose the best way to do this is just like a Band-Aid. EU has given Ukrainian military 27 billion, whatever you want to say, euros, says Burrell. Production of luxury Russian cars begins in the UAE. Hamas reveals Hezbollah's red line. America is next if Israel loses war, says Netanyahu. Right. EU retail giant explains mislabeling Israeli products. Israel and Hamas close to a hostage deal, says Washington Post. Israel's war debt soaring. Russia set to toughen military draft laws. EU to unveil new Russia sanctions, says Burrell. China not supplying Russia with weapons to fight Ukraine. Indonesia could join BRICS, says presidential candidate. Zelensky in conflict with his military, says an ex-advisor. There's been a lot of talk like that. Zelensky's chief of staff rejects former NATO head's proposal. G7's Russian oil price cap not working, says Financial Times. Last female Battle of Stalingrad participant dies. EU approach to Ukraine is surreal, says ex-Austrian foreign minister. Photos of White House cocaine released to the media. EU state preparing to shut border with Russia. Apple to relax App Store rules in the EU, says media. Brazilian judge under investigation for errors in AI authoring AI authored ruling. I'll get it right. Ruble jumps to 5-month high. EU's Ukraine weapons goal unattainable, says Germany. Ukraine arrests Zelensky critic for... I covered that. Hackers claim world's largest bank paid ransom over cyber attack. Millions of Ukrainian refugees visit home, says UN. Ex-CIA boss gets Ukrainian cell phone firm directorship. Covered that and that. Taiwan rules out Chinese invasion in near future. Investigate Israel for war crimes, says Human Rights Watch. Ukrainian students want ultra-nationalist ex-MP fired. Turkish lawyers want ICC to charge Netanyahu with genocide. West sees Ukraine conflict lasting 5 more years, says media. EU warns EU warns Ukraine of ammunition limits. Hang on. Let's see. EU state to introduce new sovereignty law. Biden claims hostage deal with Hamas is going to happen. EU tells ex-Soviet state to sanction Russia. Ousted U.S. House Speaker accused of assaulting colleague. I know that's big in the news today. Now, I shared this out, but this was not a new article. And so that's why I didn't cover it tonight. Me realizing that this was not a new article was how I realized that the article about the radioactive particles because of Russia hitting the ammunition depots. This story, I think, was linked from that story. And so I'd actually read it and I was going to do it. I was going to cover it on the show. Then I realized that this story was from February of this year. So, old news, yo. So I didn't cover it. Anyhow, pretty spiffy. I remembered my mouse buttons and all the right buttons to click and push and all that good stuff. Even though I didn't bring it back over to the dual view. But that's okay. That's okay. Yay, I'm not, I was just checking. I'm not laggy at all. So I made it all the way through the show. And I'm, like, not super laggy. So, how are you, Steve? Can you still hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Good. Yeah, and
Uh,
you're replying right as soon as I finish speaking, so you're not laggy.
Well, we build up some memory here somehow or something. Uh, one thing. What's the pain you're talking about going to bed?
Um, well, it's both my joints and my muscles. When I lay down, I just ache. I mean, it's both dull and sharp pains. It's like I
Okay.
say, it's both muscles and joints, and it's it's messed up. I sleep with the heating pad every night.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could get to sleep without it, to be honest. So,
Well, the other thing I was thinking of, I remember you'd written me, and I forgot to mention it to you that you talked about getting, you finally got some lemon juice.
mm-hmm. Yep.
Now the lemon juice, what I found, and it's very unscientific, but I just uh, drinking. Well, I drank some lemonade, and all of a sudden, well, not all of a sudden, but I realized that the getting down to do the same thing I'd done every week all of a sudden didn't hurt as much. So, like I said, it's unscientific, but maybe the acidity helps
Well, it certainly doesn't
for the.
hurt. Certainly doesn't
Okay.
hurt. And I've been drinking about a couple of glasses a day of
Okay. Well, and like
lemonade.
I said, it's non-scientific, but it was something I did every week and doing it, kneeling down, doing something, which I did in a maintenance thing every week. So and then my wife got us some of that canned lemonade, and I'd been drinking it. And it tastes pretty good. And then when I knelt down, I don't know, it may have been a week later. I don't know, a few days, but knelt down. I said, "How come I'm not wrenching in pain like I have for months?"
Well, I'm going to
And
be honest. I'm going to be honest right now. I'm not
yeah,
hurting. I'm not hurting like I would expect to be hurting right here, right now.
okay, well maybe. And like I said, it's a long time since my biology education and stuff, but I know there's you can be acidic or alkaline in your we used to in biology class everybody get a piece of litmus paper and attach it to their tongue, and some people would
Mm-hmm.
have an acidic system, but I it was just by sheer accident. But it was something that I would just dread. Well, I just kneeling down and all this stuff. It's a real pain. Well, it was enough, Mike, that I sat there and said, I do the same thing every time. How come this doesn't hurt? And the one thing I hadn't done in a long time is, drinking lemonade. So I,
Yep.
I, I wolfed down a couple of cans over the last few days because my hips and was just killing me uh, doing things. And so it seems like it's helped to lessen that. Now, with the other stuff on the phlegm and stuff is the apple sauce.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you got. I just didn't know
Oh, okay.
if
I haven't gotten any of that yet.
that's okay. Well, I just I'm not telling you what to do, Mike. I'm just passing on
Well, I
something
mean,
that
I didn't realize that about the lemon, and now I don't. I've been getting I get the real lemon stuff
yeah yeah
and just mix it with sugar, and
I do
man,
too. I've
that's
done
so
that.
delicious.
Yeah, I've done the same thing. You put in, I don't know, shake it and put in, I don't know, 6, 8, 10 drops, and add about a half cup of water and put some sugar and ice in it. And
Yep.
yeah, I've done that just kind of because I missed it, but my taste and everything has been screwed up kind of since that COVID thing here, what, three
Hmm.
years ago, that the fruit juice and stuff just didn't taste good. Stuff kind of like grape juice or even tomato
Right.
juice, which I've always liked, and I just don't. I don't even want to try it. Then when my wife got
Wow.
that lemonade, I said, "Well, okay, I'll give it a try," and it must have needed it or something. But anyway, I'm glad that if it helps, it helps. I just
Yep.
couldn't believe. I said, "Oh, come on!" But I
I'll
know
have to
there's
get
some
the applesauce next. And
Well,
that gives
okay.
me a good thing. That also gives me a good thing to because we started eating a lot more chicken because we've been getting the chicken legs because
Right.
we can get a
Right.
pretty good deal for chicken
Yeah.
legs. So we've been stocking up on those. And I normally fix when I fix chicken legs. I normally fix broccoli with it, but I want to mix it up a little bit, and I want to add to, especially like different vitamins and stuff that we're intaking. And so that can definitely be one of the alternatives. Would be applesauce with the chicken. Oh my God! Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to add
Well,
applesauce to the list.
applesauce definitely not bad for you, but I had read different things throughout the years that, and I finally got on it. Well, I the one deal was I'd been congested for about 2 months, and congested enough that it was worse. It was. I finally said, "Well, you got applesauce sitting in there. Why don't you get on the stuff like you know?" And I had a bowl of that, not a big bowl, but the next morning that congestion was gone, Mike.
No, I'm
I
gonna have
just
to
was
try that.
shocked, But
Kevin in
anyway,
the Kevin in the chat there said that he drinks alkaline water when say he needs to use it for his coffee water at times. So yeah, I mean, and I know that there's a lot to that whole alkaline acidic kind of thing when it comes to the human body and sickness. Just like there is sugar and the
oh, yeah,
connection of
yeah.
sugar and cancer. Yeah, it's pretty insane. And that's the one thing I can tell anybody if they ever get diagnosed with cancer, about the best thing that you could possibly do is cut every bit of processed sugars out of your diet.
Yeah,
Every bit of it.
it's
Only have natural sugars from like fruit or what have you. But anything processed, no. Any processed sugars, absolutely not. And the reason why is because that's what cancer cells feed on. They have more sugar receptors than any other type of receptor. And that, I guess, I'm not a scientist, but the scientists say that that means that the cancer cells feed on sugar. So
well,
you
and the
know,
thing, Mike, I wonder about, and maybe you know something about this, but most of the stuff I can't remember anyway. But that the fact everything is turned to sugars, so your cells and
right,
stuff can utilize it. Okay,
right. But
so
see,
I
there's a
got that.
difference between simple sugars and complex sugars and compound sugars.
Okay, okay,
So your simple sugars and stuff is what you get from, say, fruits and stuff like that. And those are good for you. Those are great for you. Now,
okay.
if you have any type of a processed sugar, your body has to break that down until eventually it does make it to, simple sugars. But you get so much trash along with getting just a little bit of the simple sugars. You know what I mean? Because it's not really true sugar. And so, like I say, you're getting a bunch of crap along with it. Um,
So something like honeys would be
uh,
preferable,
it's
preferable
yes,
to
yes,
okay, because it's
absolutely.
sweetening it.
Honey's
If you want
preferable.
yeah, if you want to sweeten stuff, I mean that's sweet, and it's
Yeah.
to me anyway. I've never heard anybody that doesn't like it, but I mean it sweetens.
Yep.
I've been on this stevia. I don't know if
Hmm.
you know anything about that, a sweetener, but it tastes pretty good, and some of it tastes better than others. But it's got a kind of a taste well, it's kind of that acquired taste thing going
Yeah.
there.
See, I stay away
But
from anything like that.
well,
I
stevia is
won't.
natural. Yeah, why? Okay,
Yeah, I
why?
know,
What?
but so is arsenic.
Yeah, well, yeah, so's rattlesnake venom.
I mean,
Well,
just because something natural
better
doesn't
yet,
mean it's good.
or better yet, what I'm more familiar with. Well, I'm familiar with rattlesnakes. Also familiar with coral snakes. Beautiful snake, but they can really mess you up. I mean,
Right, right.
may not kill you, but boy, it's just man, they have them down south. So, and I've been close to them, real close. So uh, anyway, yeah. But I'm glad it's, I'm glad. And I'm not one placebos. That ain't gonna
Right.
work with me. You tell me, oh, this pill it'll fix you right up, and yeah. After about a day or so, yeah, like hell it will. What'd you give me? Some kind of
Oh,
gelatin
I'm
pill
the
or
same
something?
way. We had
Yes,
that.
you
We
can't.
had that. There's a guy that came here, and I'm sure you probably remember him. He's no longer with us, unfortunately. But do you remember an Eric that used to come around? And we're talking back during the Meyer days. He was, in fact, one of the mods, and his name was Eric. Um,
One of the what? One
one
of
of
the
the mods that we had.
oh,
Um,
moderators. Oh, okay. Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
and
I'm not sure, Mike. That's I crap
he
like
has
that. I
since
kick
he
out of
has
the hard
since
drives
passed
pretty
on.
quick.
But he told me way back then. He told me about Kratom, and
Oh yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
yeah, 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 and because I've heard all kinds of nonsense. That
Right.
ain't no
Yeah.
nonsense, man. That's the real
Yeah.
deal. That stuff's
I
awesome.
I'm just sorry to me. And it's tough to get me to try something. My doctor even knows that. She says, "Well,
Uh
gee, you're so I don't know what she said. Why these time you're so adverse to taking any pills or anything." Yeah, well, there's a good reason. I've watched other people like steroids and all that, and just we'll
Right.
just give you some steroids, we'll fix that cholesterol right up. Yeah, I wish I had the cholesterol back, is what most people say, because
Yeah, I just
it's
with the kratom, it just takes too much. So if they could concentrate it or something, so I didn't have to take a crap ton of pills every time took a dose. Um, but it is what it is. But I am going to get off here because I want to go lay
okay.
down. I am
Yeah,
actually pretty
yeah.
tired, but I'm not
Well,
nearly
you
as
got me.
sore.
Yeah, well, see, I'm all woke up and ready to go. I grabbed off an old cup of coffee this morning and threw it in the microwave before I ran to the bathroom so I could get down here and get on. Yes, I didn't like some degenerate say, well, okay, but so I'm all revved up now, Mike. Thanks.
I hear you. Oh, I tell you, I was late getting the show started because I was like last minute doing stuff. But alrighty,
Yeah.
well, I
Well,
am
like,
out of here, and I will
okay.
talk with you
Thanks,
tomorrow
Mike.
night.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, brother. Alrighty, folks, I am going to get out of here. God willing, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll do this all over again. And let's just hope things don't go too crazy overnight. So, anyway, with that, I hope to see you tomorrow. As always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit. And shalom, everybody.